Well, here's a few news stories I thought were interesting. I won't present any new material tonight. I'll just answer questions after this. Irvin Lemus pointed this out to me. This looks like fun. It's a CTF for Linux system administration. So you can go to a SAD server and try to fix its problems. It sounds like a pretty good idea. I couldn't believe this, but this is apparently true. A Japanese Yakuza boss has been charged with selling weapons-grade nuclear isotopes in the U.S. This person obtained nuclear material, and they want to traffic it from Myanmar to other countries in order to fund, I think, a revolution in Myanmar. So that's pretty incredible, and this person has been caught doing that. This sounds like a James Bond movie. Avast is one of the popular free antivirus products, and apparently they've been a fraud all along. They promised to protect you, they promised to hide your data, and they were gathering data from you illegally without telling you and selling it. But they've only got a fine of $16 million, which seems like a very small fine, but now they've been ordered to stop doing it. Anyway, it's if you're using Avast, I would stop using it. And this one was pretty amazing. John Oliver offered Clarence Thomas $1 million a year to resign. He's already said he's not going to do it, but it's logical. It's a pretty good stunt, and it would probably be a great benefit if he went for it, but he's not going to go for it, I think. We check for comments. All right, good. Yeah, I'll open Zoom after the news. All right. All right, let's see if I can dig through all the garbage. So you probably heard about this, or at least I certainly did. A bunch of people in the, I think the primaries, there were Democratic primaries in some states, and a bunch of people voted ceasefire. Basically the Muslims, and anybody sympathetic to the Palestinians did. And Rashida Tlaib, who represents the Palestinians in the U.S. Congress, has urged Michigan Democrats to vote uncommitted in a Democratic primary. And they may well do the same thing in the presidential election. I mean, President Biden's approval among Muslims was like 80%, but now after what's happened in Gaza, it has fallen to like 10%. And but it's hard to imagine that Muslims in America would feel like voting for Trump would do them any good. So they pretty much have no presidential candidate worth supporting anymore. And that's one of the many considerations that may well cause Biden to lose the election. He's done a lot of things to lose some support, and it will just depend on how much Trump drives everyone away. Certainly, the more people see Trump, the more they hate him. It's a strange election. Both sides could easily win by running a younger candidate. Nobody wants either of the older ones, but both sides feel trapped that they have to run this old candidate that they know is unpopular. If either side could find a way to get rid of the older candidate and run someone younger, they would win easily. It is an interesting and very strange logjam in America. Very serious, too. It looks like it's going to be the end of Ukraine and promoting, our division has already frozen the aid that Ukraine needs. We're violating our agreement to our allies and destabilizing the world. And Europe and the rest of the world has absolutely noticed and absolutely begun complaining about it, saying they used to trust the United States. The United States used to be an important international player in maintaining a certain order in the world, and we are now no longer trustworthy and no longer doing what we promised we said we're going to do. So it's not a good thing for international relations. Somebody wrote this is an open source imitation of the Great Firewall of China. So I don't know how accurate it is. It is a interesting, strange thing to do. But they say it's a way to really limit your home network and really protect your stuff, which I imagine it probably is. And so in Holland, apparently, they use AI to scan drivers for crimes. Now, in America, we have license plate readers, and there's some places where they have a reader that will read if you buzz through something without paying your toll. It'll take a picture with a traffic light camera. But here, you have an AI smart camera, decide if you're using your phone, and what this guy found is if you hold your hand up near your head, it will assume you have a phone and charge you, send you a ticket for using a phone. So this is interesting. AI is coming everywhere, and this is the number one flaw I see everyone making with AI is they trust it too much, over and over and over. Middle management type people seem to believe you can just fire the staff and put in AI, and it will do as good a job as a real human, and that is not true. AI is wrong a lot of the time. I've been hearing ads on podcasts today about Wells Fargo, and they say they're going to put an AI app on your They're going to put Wells Fargo app on your phone, and you're going to use it for banking, asking it questions like, what is my balance, and please cancel my credit card. And that sounds like a terrible idea to me, because I know that kind of query, especially the one like, tell me my balance, where it has to go into a database and look up numbers, AI systems, large language models are extremely bad at that. For a simple query like, what is my balance, their accuracy rate is 20%. And for a more complicated query involving like, how many records have this property, their accuracy rate is 0%. So I assume Wells Fargo tested it and they wouldn't roll it out if they've gotten it better than that, but it is notoriously bad at that. And people are rolling out these customer service portals run by AI, apparently oblivious to the fact that AI makes up a lot of false answers to things. And already one company has been forced to live up to the false promises their AI customer service bot made to people. So it's a big rush. Everybody is the new hot thing, but I'm quite skeptical about the benefits of all these AI devices. And this AI writing tickets to drivers reminds me a lot of facial recognition devices fingering people for punishment. In both cases, it turned out that the computer devices are not accurate enough in their current version to be trusted with something so important. Oh, I see some questions here. Yeah, CCSF recommends a fast. Well, that's pretty rude. We know what happened last time we had a protest vote. Well, but see, a protest vote in the primary is just a protest vote doing no harm. A protest vote in the general absolutely can throw it the wrong way. And so if Biden is in SF fundraising right now, that's true. Yeah, and that's one thing. It's an amazing, it's a lot like Hillary versus Trump. I remember at the time they said both of these people are running against the only person they could possibly beat. Both extremely damaged, extremely unpopular candidates that nobody really wants. And it's like, what's the lesser of two evils when they're both like a D minus? It's amazing. And so Trump is out of money, and the entire Republican Party is out of money. And Trump just appointed someone to be in charge of the Republican funds that will make sure all those funds are spent entirely on Trump, so there'll be no funds to pay for Republican candidates. It's a very strange situation. The Democrats have much more money, and they even have real accomplishments, but Biden is not a very good campaigner, and his popularity is very low. It's a very strange system, very far from the best people getting to the top. Anyway, that was this AI story, and so this is a pretty clever idea. They want to put a tag to identify objects, and what they did was make a tag with flakes of metal in the glue that just move around randomly, and now you have a random number attached to each device that you can read electronically. Hello? What's that? Yeah, just let me do this for a couple of minutes, and then I'll be able to answer your questions.
I have problem, don't can use the computer online. I have my own computer.
Sure, I can help you. In a couple of minutes. Sure. All right. Good. All right. Okay. Good. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so they invented this cryptographic tag that's smaller and cheaper than a radio frequency tag, and supposedly you can uniquely identify objects. So that may be useful. All right. And this is the last one. The fentanyl still selling in San Francisco, they say fentanyl is very cheap and readily available, but what's selling faster and higher profit is candy. Apparently, drug addicts have a craving for candy, so they're selling candy, and they say I can make more money by getting candy and selling at an inflated price on the street than I would selling drugs, so I'm not quite sure what to make of that, but that's what people are saying. All right, so I'm going to stop it with the news.